Welcome, my beautiful peeps, and thank you for joining our channel. This is going to be amazing. We've, of course, got the wonderful Courtney Dillon, who is going to channel Erik, my son of the afterlife, but also another guest that just popped in.
I was surprised, yeah.
No surprise. The topic today, herbs and their healing properties.
So Erik has brought in, his name is Dr. VOGEL, and he's been crossed over a little while, but he has a lot of knowledge of herbs. Looks like he's an herbalist, he says. And he has a really funny, it's a white lab coat, and he has a bright energy and a big smile. So he's like very happy to be here today.
Oh, that's awesome. And this is part one. We're going to have multiple parts probably on this one. Let me get my pen. All right. These are questions from the community, Dr. Vogel and Erik. And Erik, I love you.
He says he loves you too, Mom.
All right.
Erik has on a white lab coat also.
Of course. I should have worn mine.
Yeah.
This is cool. My peeps ask courageous questions. Could you ask about the little people, the Fae, and how sharing their knowledge of herb medicine with humans affected our knowledge of herbs for centuries upon centuries? Or herbs, if you're British.
Let me ask. So what they're showing me, what he's reminding me, Dr. Vogel is reminding me, is that this knowledge of the Fae and different spirits of the forest, different beings, there's lots of different beings, was something that humans had an ability that humans lost over time.
Oh, I bet.
And they also lost their ability to communicate with the plants themselves. So it really is knowledge that you can think of there's different spirits that guard each of the plants he's showing me. And we can, return to this ability over time, practice and return to this ability. So
yeah, if we don't destroy the earth first. All right, so that sounds good. Apart from physical injury, broken bones, is the following quote true? For every human illness, somewhere in the world, there exists a plant which is the cure.
Cure. The answer is yes, but he also takes, he doesn't like the word cure in this question, because we have to remember that, and this is Erik's right here. We have to remember that we humans sometimes design illness. We design ourselves to have illnesses in order to learn from them. And we sometimes will choose things that are not curable in that particular lifetime. Like we're not meant to be cured from it.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't to say it to be depressing or scary, but it's also to understand that there might be something that you're experiencing that's part of your contract. That says Dr. Vogel is talking about how that there are infinite possibilities when it comes to plants and their properties. So really that he's showing me scratching the surface of it. Like we don't know as much as there is to know at all.
Yeah.
Plants are magical, he says.
That's cool. What about providing relief, not cure, but is there every human illness somewhere in the world exists a plant that gives relief?
Yes. If that human also believes in the relief that plant can offer.
Oh.
So there's like a reciprocal relationship that's needed.
Was the pharmacy science on the wrong track when extracting the active substance from an herb? I mean, are there additional medical benefits from using the whole herb and the combined effects from other elements that have been neglected by science that just takes the narrow segment?
That is correct. He's showing me it's like something about the entirety of the plant. Like if you take the entirety of the plant and you understand its consciousness and learn how to communicate with the plant, you will begin to understand that each plant has particular elements and all of them are necessary in healing, not just the extraction. That's not correct. It's like he's showing me, you know, cereal boxes, like boxes of cereal on the shelf, and how right now at this time humans are adding like vitamin D or vitamin K or something to the cereal that actually does nothing. I mean, it's not, I mean, maybe it does a little something, but he's showing me that it's really not that beneficial.
No.
Like you can't extract the vitamin from the fruit.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Totally makes sense.
Okay.
Are there herbs that can heal asthma? Maybe not cure, but help with asthma?
Yes. Yes. He's showing me a mint leaf also.
Okay.
Mint can be very good for asthma. He shows me there's a flower. What is that? Dandelion flower can be good for asthma. There are lots of, and also to understand, asthma can have its origins in, he shows me inflammation in the body sometimes. So there can be related to inflammation in the body. And so there are herbs to also target inflammation in the body. He shows me, what is that? Turmeric?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the gut is the largest immune, organ in the body. So I'm wondering if, so many people have gut dysbiosis, a really unhealthy GI microbiome. And if I look up like asthma, I bet you I'll find that with the term gut dysbiosis, something will probably come up, some scholarly article. Mm-hmm. So are there herbs that can help with the GI microbiome, which would then help with the inflammation that's the root of so many conditions and diseases?
Mm-hmm. Yes, most certainly. He's talking about it's a black walnut. Okay. That's one. I don't know what this is. There's a there are several herbs that, well, it depends what's wrong with the gut.
Yeah.
He showed me. So there can be different, it's hard to say formulaically, this is what this person needs for the gut, because sometimes there might be things in the gut that want to be eliminated, right?
Right.
Sometimes there's fortification needed. He's showing me like there's different requirements for each person.
It's very complicated.
It's very complicated, and it's to understand that there are herbs, tinctures, and he shows me like combinations of herbs that could be very, very helpful. But what he also shows me is that it's depending on the person, and it's important to also change diet at the same time.
Okay, yeah. No more processed food. All right, so when you try to use these herbs to help you, do you make it into a tea, or is it necessary to eat them raw?
Raw is best.
Yeah, I bet.
Because it maintains the life force of the plant.
Oh.
But it's not necessary.
Okay.
You can receive benefit from the plant in many forms. So if tea is the only type of herb that is available to you in this moment, you take tea. What he suggests is to connect with the essence of the plant prior to taking the herb. Okay. So this is a bit of a different approach than most people, and probably even including myself. He's like giving me a look. Like, if you take a little supplement or an herb, you just pop it and you move on with your day, right? Yeah. Most of us, I don't know, I do. I admit to that. But he's saying before you do it and you have it in your hands, he's saying like, imagine connecting with the essence of the plant. And with this connection, you will and ask the plant for assistance in your healing. So because you're connecting with the spirit and the essence of the plant, and through that, you will receive more benefit. So it's not as important if the plant is raw, however he prefers that.
Yeah.
It's more important that you understand that you are working with live
The spirit of
consciousness.
the plant. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
So is that something you knew before you died?
Yes. Yes, he did. He's smiling because he's a little sheepish. He like looks down.
Oh,
He knew, but it's not something he widely shared.
yeah, because I understand that. That puts you on the bleeding edge. What herb would benefit multiple sclerosis patients who deal with a lot of pain and fatigue?
Mm.
And part of this we don't know the names of the herbs. It's so complicated. But your answer could also be just go see an herbalist because there are hundreds of herbs.
There are hundreds of herbs, and it would depend also on it's very important to remember that what he likes to do is look at the sort of the energy and the signature of each person. And
Oh,
even though we could say that each person presenting with multiple I can't say that, I'm sorry, I'm talking all day. Multiple sclerosis could be benefited. He's showing me peppermint for some reason, so peppermint. But to also understand that it's depending on that person. So it's important to, as someone who struggles with a disease, he would like you to look online and mentally with your list, you can say, connect with each of the energies of the plant.
right.
Now that might sound strange, but it's really not, because you're just connecting and asking like, is this right for me? And also, seeing somebody herbalist.
Yeah, and you could also probably use a pendulum will this work or that work, and also use it to find a good herbalist because maybe they're not all good, I guess. All right, what combination of herbs would be good to use as an aid to open up the heart chakra and help bring up any blocks to be dealt with or to raise the heart chakra energy more?
Mm. Well, he shows me there's rosemary for some reason.
Okay.
He showed me flowers too, like the essence of the rose.
Okay.
Rose. Okay.
That makes sense.
Different flower tinctures will help open up the heart. Something about the essence of flowers allows for more unconditional love. And also lavender.
I believe it. And I bet what you're drawn to, like smelling different aromatherapeutic herbs, what you like probably is what you need. What would you need? Would this need to be applied to the skin, ingested, or inhaled?
Each of those could be beneficial, but he suggests he's not suggesting in people ingesting anything without some type of knowledge or seeing a practitioner.
Yeah,
exactly. Because he doesn't want to he showed me a cookie cutter. He doesn't want to give cookie cutter advice for each person, but he's here to teach about the essences of plants. That's kind of his goal today. Okay. If there is one. But
so
what he wants to say,
ask the questions about which herbs for what condition.
I mean, he's happy to point people in the right direction, but it's important to understand. Yeah, maybe we could skip some of those because it really will depend on the person and
their energy signature.
Exactly. He wants to talk about how to connect with the plants, how to work with herbs, how to understand their properties, how to communicate with the plants, because there's lots to learn about that he's talking about. So,
okay, could you, if somebody made booked a session with Courtney and they have an illness and they provide a list of herbs, Dr. Vogel, could you help them choose which herbs and how to make them?
Sorry, she's making me laugh. He says yes, but she's quite booked out. But yes.
Okay, he's all that in the bag of chips. All right.
Anyway, but yes, he'd be happy to come in. I'm just meeting him today, so Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
Eric,
funny.
of course, you could help, but of course, people can use pendulums if, you know, I like to
He's
use a
happy.
pendulum.
He's happy to answer basic questions, but we have to be
Yeah,
careful. Be
I
careful.
know. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Okay, this falls outside of herbs. What is the consciousness of the mushroom and psilocybin all about?
He's just so, you know, it's like, of course somebody asked about that. Hmm. Well, he can talk about this. It's important to understand that the consciousness of mushrooms or psilocybin is a plant used in ceremony.
Yeah,
It is important to understand the land from which the psilocybin came, and also to understand the role of indigenous traditions in the ceremony.
Yeah.
So he would encourage people to really be mindful before they take any of these plants and this isn't, I'm just channeling, so, you know, don't hate the messenger.
we would never do that.
You'd be surprised. But
I hear you.
just be mindful before you take any of these plants. Ask yourself, where did this come from? Who is this from? Where is this sourced? What am I using it for? And to really be mindful of the way in which you are choosing to use it. So he encourages people to use these type of plants in a ceremonial way.
Like with the shaman, a reputable shaman.
Yes.
Not one that got their shaman degrees online, you know, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Otherwise, he does not recommend this type of plant for casual use, as it can cause problems in everyday life.
I've seen some people, a friend of Eric's actually, that did so much that he became schizophrenic. It was just never the same.
Well, he says
maybe he did other types of drugs too, but
Erik is good. He just yeah, but it is basically just warning us in a way, not to say we can't use them, but you have to be respectful, which is like maybe a larger theme here. So,
and use your intuition. All right, Angela Edwards says she had thyroid cancer 11 years ago and had her thyroid removed. Now takes thyroxine for the rest of her life since this happened, of course. So she's lost all her energy, enthusiasm for life entirely, and she's never been the same. Doctors have always said there's no issue, so I would like to know what herbal remedies would help. Okay, would an herbal remedy help, basically? And so should she see an herbalist? Yes,
absolutely for her. It looks like for her, I see her with a dropper and a vial, and she's using something like under her tongue. So there's some type of tincture, maybe is the word.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get a sense. Something with nettle, Nettle is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I've seen that in some of the health food stores, something nettle. Okay.
That would be helpful, but there's also several others that would work to it's like about bringing more energy or more fire into the body, it looks like. Not literal, you know, metaphor.
Is the way she feels now all related to what happened with the thyroid? Or, I mean, it could be something else.
For her, primarily thyroid, yes, that's the issue.
Thyroid is very difficult, as the doctor can say. There's some people respond to T3, it's kind of complicated.
And it seems like also with thyroid, I'll say this, so many people have an issue with their thyroid right now. I mean, I see it. It's like, what's going on? I don't know.
Hashimoto, I swear to God.
Yeah.
I have it, you know?
I know.
It's like, especially in women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Eric's saying it's
what is that about?
It's related to overgiving.
Oh, okay. I take it all back, people. All right. What herbs, well, or is there an herb that can assist with pineal gland detoxification?
Yeah, something with to do with you're showing me pine needles,
Oh,
like spruce maybe?
okay.
Pine.
Well, that sounds interesting because the pineal gland is shaped like a pine cone, and that's the symbol very often.
Oh,
So, is there something behind that connection?
yes. There, if you look at the patterns in nature, we can often find them in our bodies. He's showing me. We can often find the same patterns that are reflected in nature in our physical
I
bodies.
know that's so true.
And
The
so,
ratio of length of arms and legs. I mean, there's such symmetry in all life and all nature.
exactly. And so what he shows me is sometimes when we see something, not always the exact correspondence, but when we see something in nature, we can often see the correspondence for our physical body, which is interesting. I didn't really think of that ever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, people, if you go to the About tab on atlantascalar.com, you'll see a yes or no page. That's probably an easy way to ask one of the mediums. I have this. Will this herb work? Yes or no? So, and the mediums can ask Erik or Dr. Vogel. Is it Vogel? V-O-G?
VOGEL.
So that would be Vogel.
Exactly. I can't say it correctly. I'm sorry.
No, I can barely say it. All right. Are there any medicinal mushrooms recommended for expanded consciousness?
Yes, but in a safe environment.
Yeah.
With the right circumstance.
Somebody to guide you through the journey.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
He does not recommend this for casual. Does not recommend this for casual use. Right. It is not recommended.
Okay. Are there any herbs that would help with dementia? Probably would depend on the type of dementia, but in general.
Slowing the effect of dementia, yes, there is possible. So what is it? St. John's wort, but that looks like it's used for depression, could also be used for dementia.
Well, I mean, depression is neurological. It's often
neurological, so it makes sense. It's
valerian root.
Valerian root. Thank you. Now that's used to calm. There's something with calming. He shows me calming or calm. It can also be used for nerves, like a valerian root. Anxiety. It's possible also that it can be used for dementia. It does look like there are others, but it feels like it would just depend on the person. Yeah. With those, anyway. Those are herbalists.
All right. This person had neurological Lyme disease and a few co-infections for over 40 years, and has this person's been on herbal treatment since 2020. Will this eventually work, or has the damage already been done? This is Jacinta Harrison.
He's not really able to say about her specifically.
Okay.
It feels like he can talk about Lyme disease if you would like.
Okay.
Okay, he will say one thing about her. He does not feel that, and he's not trying to put anybody down, but he does not, he's afraid to step on toes, but he does not feel that she's been given the proper combination of herbs to effectively treat her illness. Will it work? He shows me a shifting or a shifting of the herbs. He wants her to see a different practitioner. So that's for her.
And maybe get a list of ones, look at the ratings, and then ask Erik through Courtney or whoever.
Yes, it feels like she does not have, he might have, I was trying to figure out who this was. So I looked him up, and he might have, I don't know this to be true, but I feel like there might be a list on his website if you were to look. VOGEL.
Okay.
Yeah, like
All right.
look, he's showing me a list, so I'm not sure. You'd have to
Of
look.
herbs.
I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God, great. So VOGEL and just look, Google his name with herbalist or herbs.
Yeah, yeah. And there might be people that are studied under him or know of his work, and
Good. Oh
they
my God,
could
that's perfect.
I could see like pointing you in the right direction, because right now it feels like she's not on the right path, if that makes
All
sense.
right.
I don't, we have
I'm
to
going to look
look.
up something
Yeah, look it up. Yeah, look it
while we
up.
ask this. I'm going to look
Okay.
up something different.
Okay.
Is there an herb to heal rheumatoid arthritis? Or is this condition related to past lives? It probably depends on the person, obviously.
He's not an expert on past lives.
Well, Erik, you're part of this too.
Rheumatoid arthritis. Is it dependent on past lives? Sometimes it's past lives for rheumatoid arthritis, but other times not. It just depends on the person. Okay. There can be people that develop this condition over time.
Yeah.
Related to experiences within this live stream. It could also be related to a contract. Yeah. So again, are there herbs to treat the root cause? Yes, absolutely. There are herbs to treat rheumatoid arthritis. He's showing me
Alfred Vogel.
Okay, Alfred. I didn't know his first name.
Yeah, I didn't either. There he is. There you are, you handsome.
Yeah, devil. That's him. He's that smile. That's what I was trying to.
Handsome devil. Oh my
goodness. Thank you. He does. We're wanting to calm down the. What did you want for arthritis?
I bet the microbiome scalar thing would help.
Yeah, I feel like because he keeps taking me to like gut with the arthritis. Oh yeah. So let's focus on that, healing that first.
Okay, the nature doctor. Yeah,
is there a resource? There's like a list on there.
There are
maybe
books that are awesome. You know, the Nature Doctor, a manual of traditional complementary medicine.
Okay.
So that would be something to get. So you're gonna get some good royalties, Alfred.
He's happy. He's smiling.
Is there an is there anything for mast cell activation syndrome? MCAS or histamine intolerance?
Yeah, it looks like he shows me there's lots of different flowers that you can take for that. For some reason, the flowers will help with that. Dandelion root. What else? That's what he says. Dandelion root. Okay.
I mean, we're generalizing, of course. What herbs for? I'm saying what herbs, but we could just say, are there herbs out there that help with anxiety and lowering blood pressure?
He goes back to the valerian.
Okay.
St. John's wort.
Okay.
Let's see what else. Those are the main ones. There's yeah, those are the main ones.
Okay. All right. Herbs apart from sage to support metabolic and adrenal systems during menopause, particularly during sudden drops in estrogen.
Ginkgo.
Okay.
That's the main one he recommends right now.
Okay. Well, y'all need to get his book and just look online to see what he recommends, because he probably has some references online too. Herbs. Are there any herbs to help with belly fat, depression, night sweats, and sleep deprivation?
You would take each of those separately.
Yeah, I figured. Valerian root probably for the depression, right?
Yes. You know, you can. One of the things that he's showing me. So look at around where you are in your physical environment.
Yeah.
This is one thing I didn't know this. Look at where you are in your physical environment. Look at what is native native herbs
Oh.
to your location. This is very
Interesting.
important information because there is a propensity when you're in communication with the land that there will be a greater ability for those herbs to heal you. And so this sounds maybe strange, but if you live in California, see what is wild sourced around you and use that list to determine what you're going to take.
Interesting. I love that. All right, that is it for part 1. You guys check out Courtney Dillon in the description box. And, maybe Paula, if you hear this, we'll put the Amazon link to Dr. Vogel's book. That would be awesome. And anyway, be sure you share and subscribe, hit the notification bell, yada, yada, yada. All right, stay tuned for part 2.